Searching for a new home is very exciting, and I look forward to helping you with the process. But before we get started, I wanted to share some helpful information to help protect you and preserve your negotiating position. We'll cover this again the first time we meet, so don't worry if it doesn't all make sense right away. I'll explain it again and answer any questions you have. In North Carolina, we must disclose the difference in the relationship between a buyer or seller and the real estate agents. It's extremely important that you understand this before you start sharing any confidential information with me or any other real estate agent. This is all straight from our Working with Real Estate Agents disclosure mandated by our Real Estate Commission. Looks just like this. Here's a few things that I think you should know. Every agent you talk to is going to want you to hire them. I'm a little different. Initially, I'll ask for a verbal, non-exclusive agreement for us to work together. This allows us to get acquainted without locking you in, and you can always back out. There's no cost to you either. Generally, there are seller's agents and buyer's agents, and each is represented by different firms and different agents. But when one firm or real estate company represents the buyer and the seller, this is called dual agency. In some rare situations, one agent might represent both the buyer and the seller. This is also called dual agency. But in this situation, you share the same agent, like two top soccer teams sharing the same coach. However, designated dual agency solves this problem. In North Carolina, information that you share with real estate agents may not be held confidential unless you've hired that agent. So it's extremely important that you understand this before sharing any information, especially when dealing with the seller or a buyer's agent, because anything you say, they have to share with their client. This is also important to know when visiting open houses or new construction communities. Those agents work for the seller, not you. Reach out to me by email to get the North Carolina Real Estate Agents brochure, or feel free to ask questions about this or other topics regarding agency laws in North Carolina. So I'd also like to let you know that typically there's a seller's agent and a buyer's agent, and each is typically represented by different firms. But when one firm represents both the buyer and the seller, that's called dual agency, and that's okay. In some rare situations, one agent might represent both the buyer and the seller, and this is also called dual agency. But in this situation, you share the same agent, like two teams in a soccer match sharing the same coach. However, designated dual agency solves this problem. Lastly, I'd like you to know it's extremely important that when you go to visit open houses or new construction communities, that you understand that the agents there work for the seller or the builder, not for you. If you'd like more information about the relationship between real estate agents and buyers or sellers, get in touch and I'll be happy to share a copy of the Working with Real Estate Agents Q&A brochure.